Hi guys, welcome to your favorite channel CSE Expert. This is Sanjeet. Today we are going to see a new topic, that is clustering. And in clustering we are going to study about k-means clustering. So what is clustering? Clustering of data is method by which large set of data is grouped into clusters of smaller set of similar data. So in this group of 10 balls is being clustered into yellow, orange and blue. So in this clustering is happening, right? Now we move on to the k-means algorithm. Now this algorithm basically contains 6 steps. Step number 1 is that we have to assume 2 mean positions from the given cluster. Now we need to calculate the Euclidean distance formula. We'll calculate the distance from the point to the given point with our assumed point. Okay, we'll calculate the distance. Now tabulate the data with reference to the clusters. Next is display the clusters. And step 5 is recalculate the mean for the new cluster and repeat the steps 2 to 4. Similarly, step 6 is similar repetitive clusters are formed, then stop. So this is the flow chart. Just go through it. Now what we'll see, a new problem. Now apply k-means clustering for the given data set. The data set is 2, 4, 10, 12, 3, 20, 30, 11 and 25. So first step, we need to assume 2 mean points, that is 4 and 11. This can be any point. We have just at random we have put at a 4 and 11. Now what will we do is we'll calculate the distance 4 and 11 from the rest of the points. So we'll tabulate it. Yeah, this is the table. We have assumed 4 and 11. We'll calculate with every other distance. So d1 is 4 and d2 is 11. Now we'll calculate with distance 2. It is 4 minus 2, 2, and 11 minus 2, it's 9. Similarly, we'll tabulate it. Now the minimum value out of the 2 is to be chosen in cluster 1, and if it is from distance 2, we'll cluster in cluster 2. So 2 is the minimum value from D1, we'll get it in cluster 1. And if it is 0, it is the minimum value, it will be clustered in cluster 1. Similarly, cluster 2, cluster 1 and all these other in cluster 2. So now what will we do is we'll this is the new clusters now. C1, 2, 4, 3 and C2, 10, 12, 20, 13, 11 and 25. Right. Now what will we do is we'll calculate the mean of the clusters. So 2, 4 and 3, the mean is 3, and cluster 2, 10, 12 and all, we'll get the mean as 18. Now the new midpoints will be 3 and 18. Now we'll be choosing the new distances from the points 3, 18. Similarly, in the previous step, we'll also implement it here and we'll calculate the D1 and D2. The minimum value from which distance it has been calculated, the new cluster will be formed of that minimum value. So C1, 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 because it is the minimum values. Again 0 minimum value C1 and rest all in C2. See, okay, now what will we do is the clusters formed will be 2, 4, 3, 10 and rest of the values. Now we'll again calculate 2, 4, 3, 10 mean, that is 4.75, and mean of 12, 20, 13, 11, 25, that is 19.6. So again we'll tabulate it and again we'll find out the new clusters. Now we'll get cluster 1 these 5 values and this one 6 values, and cluster 2 as rest of the 3 values. Okay, now we'll again calculate the mean for cluster 1, that is 7, and we'll again calculate the mean for cluster 2, that is 25. Now what will we do is we'll again make a table, and now we check is that we'll get the same cluster. So if we get the same clusters as the final clusters, then we'll need to stop according to the algorithm. So this will be our final clusters, cluster 1 and cluster 2. Hence I conclude this example. Now we'll move further.
Yes,
for the
so
next
the
example
example
is, now we have coordinates and we have to calculate the k means for k equals to 2. So now in this one we have to perform the iterations. According to, we need to choose first the random points. Suppose the random points are 1, 1, the first point S1, and 5, 7 as S4. So we choose the random points as S1 and S4. So what we need to do is, again, we need to calculate the Euclidean distance with every other point from these 2 points, and the minimum of the 2 value will be chosen in cluster 1 and 2 respectively. Okay, so 0 is the minimum value out of 0 and 7.2, so it will be chosen in cluster 1 because it comes from the first point. Similarly, we'll perform this steps and we'll get the clusters at C1 first 3 values and C2 as rest of the values. Now what we'll do is that the cluster 1 is having values, these 3 values, right? So we'll calculate the mean of these 3 values with particular coordinates. So 1, 1.5 and 3, 1, 2 and 4. So the mean value is 1.8 and 2,3 for cluster 1. That is a new centroid calculation. Okay. So now for this next cluster 5,7, the rest of the values are 5, 3.5 and all. We'll calculate the new centroid. Okay. So that will be 4.1 and 5,4. So these 2 points will be the new centroid, and we'll need to calculate the new distance from these 2 points from the rest of the points. So yes, so this is iteration 2 taking these 2 points 1.8, 2.3 and 4.1, 5.4. So these 2 points have been identified, and now what we need to do is we'll again check the clusters. Now what we found is that S1 and S2 are coming under cluster 1 and rest of the values are coming under cluster 2. So now what we need to do is we'll again calculate the centroid, new centroid calculation. Okay, so again we need to calculate centroid, that is 1.3, 1.5. Just by simple averaging we are getting the points, right? And in centroid 2 we'll average the other values of cluster 2, and we'll again get the new coordinates. Cluster 1 is this and cluster 2 is this, right? So now we'll perform iteration 3 choosing these 2 points, and we'll need to calculate it with every other point. So what we get is new table, and we found out that these clusters are same as the previous example. So this is the right time to stop, and we'll get the clusters at first 2 values in cluster 1 and rest of the values in cluster 2. So hence why I conclude my video, and I hope this k-means clustering is clear to you. If you have any doubt, just post in the comment section. Thank you.